Okay. Time to talk about the practice SAC. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about things that were pretty common across the group. You have your own individual feedback that you should read and pay attention to. And as always, come and talk to me if something doesn't make sense. A few sort of simple things. When you're writing and you finish a paragraph, please leave one line empty before you go on to the next paragraph. For some of you, it's not very clear where one paragraph ends and the other one starts. It's just a good idea to have an empty line. Especially when you get to the exam. That can really help your examiner see what you're doing more clearly. Now, we have these two texts. The one that were, well, actually they were on the internet, weren't they? But we need to talk about prepositions. That is, when something it's in a newspaper, but it's on a website. Okay, so please take note of those. These things won't apply to a speech, but these ones were pretty commonly misused. So in a newspaper, in a book, something that's printed, right? Generally that's paper. On a website, something that's on the internet. Okay. We also need to talk about time management. Quite a lot of you didn't finish. That is not unusual for a practice SAC. Now, for the real SAC, we have between 8:50 and 11, right? So what's that, 130 minutes? If I'm wrong, you can all tell me immediately the moment you see me next. You need to plan that time out. So in 130 minutes, how much time are you going to have to read? How much time are you going to have to do the questions? How much time are you going to have to plan? And how much time are you going to have to write? And then to check your writing for proofreading. I think you should decide before you go in how you're going to use your time. And don't be too mean with the time you give to planning. Planning is important. You need to plan if you're going to write well. If you don't plan, you'll write more slowly. Okay? So this is something that I think you really need to focus on. Seeing the plans, most of you just didn't spend enough time planning. Then we need to talk about remembering your argument strategies. Okay. That is your things like dichotomy. Do you remember what a dichotomy is and how to analyze it? If not, go back and look at the examples on the OneNote. Do you remember what deductive reasoning is? Do you remember what inductive reasoning is? Do you remember what a slippery slope is? If not, you've got some revision to do over the break. We had some trouble with the target audiences. That is having too many. Like they're targeting parents and children and teachers and schools and the government. No, they're not. Generally, you can pick one and you're safe for a text. Then, also the time management here. A lot of this fed into not having enough time to compare. Okay, a number of you missed this and it was just totally because of time, or you missed the visuals and it was just totally because of time. Both are required. That means over the holidays, you need to take this amount of time, use one of the sets of texts that are on our OneNote, or at least one, and do it. Do the whole thing. Don't stop. Put a timer on. Do it. And the more you do it, read, do the questions, plan, write, the faster you will get. Okay. Also, quite a number of you wrote and argued, gave me the evidence, including quotes, went through the how, right? That is your techniques, right? What they're doing to attempt to persuade you. And then forgot the why. Forgot the intended effect. Just forgot this. Remember that you should go all the way back to the contention. What are they trying to position the target audience to see about this topic, to think, even to do. If you just get to hear and then expect me to do that for you because it's clear in your head, you're going to lose marks on this criterion here. This one for the analysis and comparison. Okay, really important. That needs to be practiced, and practiced a lot over the holidays, please. A good time to see me, end of this week. Wednesday's a good time. You can talk to me Thursday while we're on the excursion. First day back is probably a little bit late because our SAC is Wednesday of the first week. So please keep that in mind.